So this is one of those devices that most people will never really think about until they absolutely need it. And when you do need it, you realize how much time you've been wasting without it. This is the Datalogic Gryphon GBT4500, a professional-grade wireless barcode scanner designed for retail, warehouse, logistics, and basically any workflow where scanning barcodes is part of the daily grind. Now at first glance, it looks pretty standard. Minimal design, matte black finish, nothing flashy. But the moment you pick it up, it immediately feels like something built for serious use. Solid construction, balanced weight, and that kind of industrial design language that tells you it's not trying to be anything other than functional. And that's kind of the whole point here. Because this isn't a consumer gadget. This is a productivity tool. Let's talk about the scanning experience first, because that's where this thing either succeeds or completely fails. The GBT4500 uses Omnidirectional 2D imaging, which means you don't have to perfectly align the scanner with a barcode. You just point, click, and it reads almost instantly. And when I say instantly, I mean there's barely any perceptible delay between trigger and read. It handles 1D barcodes, 2D QR codes, labels on packaging, screens, even slightly damaged or low-contrast codes without much struggle. That matters more than people think, because in real-world environments, barcodes are rarely perfect. You're dealing with torn labels, awkward angles, reflections, and sometimes just bad printing quality. And this is where a cheaper scanner usually starts to fall apart. But here, the decoding engine is fast enough that it just keeps up with real usage. Now the wireless performance is another big part of the experience. It connects via Bluetooth and pairs with systems pretty quickly. Once connected, range is strong enough that you can realistically move around a small to medium workspace without worrying about dropouts. And it also comes with a cradle, which isn't just a charging dock, but also acts as a stable communication base. So you've got flexibility, handheld wireless operation when you need mobility, and docked scanning when you want consistency and charging in one place. That dual setup is actually more important than it sounds, especially in environments where downtime is expensive. Now ergonomics. This is one of those devices that you might end up holding for hours at a time, and Datalogic clearly designed it with that in mind. The grip is comfortable, the trigger is responsive without being too sensitive, and it doesn't feel fatiguing even after repeated use. It's not trying to be compact or stylish. It's trying to disappear in your hand while you work. And that's a good thing. The scan feedback is also worth mentioning. You get a clear audible beep and a visual LED indicator, so even in noisy environments, you know instantly whether a scan worked or not. That reduces double scanning errors, which can slow down entire workflows when scaled across teams. Now let's talk about where this kind of device actually matters. If you've ever worked in retail inventory, warehouse management, shipping operations, or even small business stock tracking, you already know that scanning speed and reliability directly translates into productivity. If a scanner misreads codes or lags even half a second per scan, multiply that by hundreds or thousands of scans a day, and suddenly you're losing hours of productivity every single week. This is why devices like the GBT4500 exist. Not to impress you, but to eliminate friction. Setup is also pretty straightforward. Plug in the cradle, pair the scanner, and it basically works out of the box with most common POS systems and inventory software. No complicated configuration unless you want deeper customization. And that's another subtle strength here. It works both for people who want plug-and-play simplicity and for teams that need enterprise-level configuration options. Battery life is solid as well. You're realistically getting through a full work shift without needing to worry about charging. And when you do place it back on the cradle, it tops up quickly enough to be ready for the next cycle. Now, is this exciting? Not in the traditional consumer tech sense. There are no flashy screens. No AI marketing buzzwords. No app ecosystem trying to reinvent anything. But what it does offer is reliability. And in professional environments, reliability is worth more than features. Because the truth is, the best tools and workflows like this are the ones you don't have to think about. They just work. Every single time. And that's exactly the category this scanner sits in. So if you're running a business, managing inventory, or dealing with any kind of scanning-heavy workflow, this is the kind of tool that quietly pays for itself in time saved and errors avoided. If you're interested in picking it up, check the link in the description below.